Hey guys, so I have a review for you today, and it is the kulcar 3. Now this is also not a typical review that I would do, but it kind of goes in tow with how I try to live with being green and not having too many chemicals around kind of thing, and I'll explain to you what I mean. So this is the kulcar 3, and the person who sent it to me, the company sent it to me for free. So I did not pay for this item. They did ship it to me, and it is about $125 on Amazon.com. And it comes in various different colors. I got to choose which color I wanted, and let's see. Comes with a manual, and this is what it actually looks like. Now, I was actually looking at other videos and pictures of this, and it actually looks a lot bigger in the pictures and the videos than it does when you actually get it. So like, here is the size of my hand, just to give you guys a visual of how big it is. So it's not too big, but it definitely does the job. So the whole point of the kulcar 3 is basically to get rid of nasty toxins that are in your car. And honestly, this is really good for people who live in populated cities and where there's smog, or if you just buy a new car and your car, you know, that new car smell is not really good for you. There's a lot of toxins and chemicals and the stuff that they just put on inside of your car. So this is to help get rid of it. It is also meant to keep air circulating in your car when you're not in it, or just when it's sitting here and you have the windows rolled up and you come back into your car, you know, the air isn't so stale. So I did test this out actually for a while. I've had this for a while now, and it is very, very easy to install. There's not much to it. It does run completely off solar, as you can see, so there is no hooking up to anything that you need to do. It comes with everything you could possibly need in here. That's for your window, and I'll show you how to do that. It comes with everything that you could possibly need to hook it up. So it also comes with the outlet so that you can charge things. So there's 3 fans on here, and they all do a fabulous job, and I will show you how to install this. Okay, so the kulcar 3, the actual device, it has a little slit here on the side, and it just sits right on your window, like so. Let's see. Yeah, so it sits on there. This is supposed to be, they recommend that you put it on a window that you don't use often. I use all my windows very often. However, it's more convenient to put it on this one because I try to keep the back ones up when we drive, since they're tinted and they have window shades and stuff. Now, when I tested this out, I actually tested it out on a smaller car. My truck is actually pretty large, so it worked much better on a smaller vehicle. So basically, the solar panel, it really does just need to be really sunny outside in order for it to work properly. If it's cloudy or gloomy or anything like that, it's not going to work. It has to be full sunshine to be going on. So as you can see, if I were to roll it up, there would be all this space on the side. So the kulcar 3 gives you all kinds of parts to put on here, and there's little grooves in there, if you can see. They just sit on top of your window very easily. Basically, this is, I mean, the company wouldn't recommend it, but you don't really need instructions. All of this is very, very self-explanatory. So what I did was just take one of the longer pieces, and these bend very easily, and I just put it there so I don't really have to use a corner piece, and then I'll just fill the gap over here with one of their smaller pieces, and I could probably just scoot that over to fill that gap a little bit. These are very flexible, very self-explanatory, and so I'll roll up the window so you can see what it looks like. So just be careful when you roll it up that none of the pieces get stuck, but this should roll up fairly easy. Yep, and it rolled all the way up. There's no gap in there. Now I do have a small gap here that I could use to fill it up with one of those other pieces. These all can be cut to size. So if any of these pieces don't fit your car, or you feel like they're too big or something, these cut very easily and can be molded to whatever shape your window is. Now the only reason I'm not going to cut the pieces that they gave me is because I'm giving this away, and I don't want to cut it to my vehicle whenever I'm not going to be the one to keep it. So in using this in my brother's car, I did drive around town with it, and the very first time I actually had it like this so that it could be up where the sun was and it could see the sun. And I realized very quickly that when I'm driving, this is just not a smart idea, because it went so it came down really fast. But if you're gonna be driving around with it, that's totally fine. It works great. Just leave it flat against your window pane and you won't have any issues. It works really well. Now, if you want the fan to be working inside of your vehicle, then there's a little flap there. Let me see if I can show you guys now that I have it down. So this little flap right here, if you want the fan to work, all you do is flip that up and you'll see a vent. And that's so that the air, the still air, can get out. That's what the fan is taking out of your car and is going through these. So if you do not want the fan to be running and you would rather charge something on this side of the window, if you have someone sitting in the back seat, if you want to charge your phone, your tablet, whatever you want to do, you have got to make sure that this flap is closed. That's how you get the USB part to work. You cannot have both running at the same time. So they do have a little charger right here, but most likely you'll be using the USB port a majority of the time. I actually found the USB port kind of one of the coolest parts of this whole thing. So it's nice not to have cords running all the way to the back seat whenever you could have a cord running directly from the window in the passenger side of whoever's sitting in the back there. So that was really cool. Now the fan is not running because I have the little thing down, but it's also not running right now because the sun, if you can see, is covered. It's very cloudy today, but I'll take this off. As soon as I step into the sun, even if it's cloudy like that, this will start running. So as you can see, the fans work. This is in direct hit of the sun, so it's getting sun right now. Now this does not have any batteries in here that are stored. The solar panel does not charge batteries. This is a solar panel directly connected to the fans that make it power. So the solar power panels are the battery kind of thing. So as you can see, they work. Now I have seen them when it is a really, really bright day. These fans hustle. I mean, they move very quickly. Now, as you can see, as soon as I step out of the sun, they stop. So if you want this to work, it is absolutely best for the brightest part of the day. Of course, it will not work at night. So if it's overcast and gloomy all the time where you're living, this is not ideal. Courage, what do you think of it?
Good.
Do you think it's pretty cool?
Yeah.
And do you like having a charger back there?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I think that's one of the coolest parts. So I'll be honest with you, for the review, I thought it worked well, but not on the size of my vehicle. I would definitely buy 2 of these if I was going to actually use it for my car, well, for my truck, but on a smaller car, like my little brother has a little Oldsmobile, and it's just a little 4-door car, and I put it up on there and it worked great. Now, here was the cool part. My little brother is a smoker. He smokes cigarettes, so whenever I use his car, I feel like I smell like cigarettes, and I'm not a smoker, and I do not like to smell like smoke. So I had tried to clean my little brother's car at one point, like with Febreze and stuff, and it just really masked the smell instead of taking the smell away. And I used this Kulcar 3 whenever I had my little brother's vehicle, and I realized that it actually did a really good job of taking the smoke smell away from my brother's car, which was awesome. That was not something that I had even thought of that it would do, because it's really made for, you know, a lot of pollution and a lot of toxins if you're around that a lot in the cities, and you know, overseas where they wear the face mask because the air is just so horrible to breathe in. These are wonderful at. I personally would probably use one of these or a couple of these if I lived in Los Angeles, because the smog there is horrible. So was pleasantly surprised whenever I realized that it was taking the smell of my brother's cigarettes away. Side note, it really does help if you smoke cigarettes and you don't want your vehicle to smell like cigarettes. Now, if I had little children, I have a 3 and 5-year-old. Now, if I had little ones, like under a year old or something, I would not hesitate to buy at least 2 of these for my truck to keep the air constantly flowing, so I wouldn't have to always put my kids in a vehicle that has stale air just circulating in it. So this really does help keep the air moving. And honestly, if they had bigger ones, I would see so many uses for this, to even put in like a really small RV and help circulate the air in there. They really just need a bigger one of these to be made to put in other places besides a vehicle, but it's a great idea. So for all of you guys who are wondering, yes, I am giving this away. I do not want to keep it. It was gifted to me as a review, and I would like to give it away to someone who would use it. You know, if you're a smoker, this is great. If you don't want your car to smell like cigarettes, if you live in a big city, this is also wonderful. Make sure that you have lots of sun wherever you're at so that it can work properly. Also, if you even have little ones or animals that you always travel with in the car, it's always good so that you're not just coming into a vehicle that doesn't have any airflow circulating through it for hours, because this will do a wonderful job of making sure that the air is not so dingy. If you want to enter to win this, then you have plenty of time. I'm actually not going to ship it off until I'm done with the sugar beet harvest, but I wanted to get this review done and out of the way before I did the sugar beet harvest. So it'll probably be a couple weeks before I actually get it shipped out, but I will gladly pay for shipping for whoever wins it, and I will ship that to you myself. And everything is like new. I just used it for a couple weeks and it works great. It is color blue, so if you don't like the color blue, then don't enter the giveaway. But I would definitely give it 2 thumbs up. It did a really good job, and I was very surprised. Like I said, the whole smoking in my brother's car smell, it surprised me that it actually took that away, because that was not something that I expected it to do. Now, if you're expecting this to keep your car very cool and air conditioned type, then you're not going to want it, because it's not an air conditioner, it's not a fan, it's to keep air circulating and to keep it not so hot. So it's not a window air conditioner or anything like that, but it does do a great job of what it's supposed to do. So if you are interested in winning this, put your name down below and just let me know, and after I am done in a couple of weeks, I will draw the name and I will definitely ship this out whenever I am done working and I have time. So let me know if you're interested in this, and I hope this interview was informational for you. And thank you all for watching, and I love you guys a lot, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.